Sometimes nothing is scarier. But sometimes nothing is... well, it's just nothing. Nothing is nothing. I recently released a documentary video talking about the creation process and personal experiences that led me to create my Halloween Sonic 1 ROM hack, Sonic is Alone. It was a game made during a very low point in my life and sort of acted as a way to vent my frustrations through art. Yet somehow the game became incredibly popular. And so it was only natural that some people would even ask for a sequel. And even in the recent documentary I had a handful of comments from people asking whether I could make a similar game for Sonic 2. The answer is yes! With an asterisk. And I mean a big asterisk. Here's the funny part. I already tried making a sequel many months ago. This is Tails is Alone. It's the same concept as Sonic is Alone, but ported over to Sonic 2 with Tails as the protagonist this time. You can see it shares a lot of the same ideas. A super empty world, eerie silence, darker palettes, and of course the iconic infinite double jump when pressing A. It basically has all the hallmarks of the original game, and all that's left is adding a couple more dark filters and maybe a bit of a narrative. But here's the thing. It's not the same anymore. Sonic is Alone was made because of how my life was at the time. It had purpose. And the nothingness in the game wasn't just there for the heck of it, it was all put there for a reason. I could easily make the same thing again with Sonic 2, but it wouldn't have the same spark anymore. Unfortunately, I didn't realize that until I had already put a few days into developing the sequel, which is why what you're seeing on screen right now exists in the first place. I was basically chasing the popularity of the first game instead of focusing on making something that actually said anything. My life is better now. I'm clean. I don't need to pour myself into a soulless copy of the original game anymore. So this is why I made this video. First, of course, to tell people that I did have the idea for a sequel long before the documentary was even released. The first steps were taken around February 2025, roughly a month before I went into rehab. And after I got out of rehab, I worked on this project on and off for a lot of months, but I never found the spark to fully dedicate myself to it like I did with the original game. And that ties into the second reason why I made this video. To release the unfinished sequel and finally let go. I still remember how the project folder was staring at me for months, with me thinking each time I'll continue working on it soon, and then nothing ever happened. It almost felt like it was taunting me at some point. Eventually, I realized I just don't have the willpower left to make a meaningless sequel just to chase clout anymore. I think at some point every creator reaches that quiet moment where you have to ask yourself why you're still doing something. Was it because you had something new to express, or because you were afraid to let go of what already worked? And when I finally sat down and looked at Tails is Alone with that mindset, I realized I wasn't chasing creativity or creative outlets anymore. I was creating something just because it felt sensible. That's when it stopped feeling like art and started feeling like homework. So yeah, this is why Tails is Alone will never be finished. But you can still find the download of the unfinished prototype in the description. Just don't expect to see anything more than what you already see in this video. Sometimes there's just nothing left to be said, and the story already ends exactly where it should. Thank you for watching, bye bye.